To the West Coast Podcast. I'm Shanegotyou11, and with me as always is Trey.
Hey, how's it going, guys? We are back again with another episode of the West Coast Madden Podcast. Hope you guys are doing good. And I'm going to start this podcast off a little bit differently with an article that I came across on the New York Post that apparently it says that we could go into space in 15 years, according to this article that I read. So I don't exactly know what it means, but I just thought that it'd be kind of interesting. So, but anyway, Shane, have you ever thought about what space would be like?
It'd be trippy,
Or
and I
what?
wouldn't go. I don't want to even get. I don't even want to
Yeah.
get on an airplane, dog. Like so, I don't really want to go into space. I'll tell you that right now. Maybe if it's like you all can live to 500 years, but other than that, no, I'm good.
Do you think that they faked the moon landing from like back in the day?
You know, I don't think so, but I mean, I know a lot of people think that it was faked, but
Yeah. Eh,
I mean, I just don't know. Like nowadays would be easier, in my opinion, to fake it with like the CGI and all the like cool stuff we have. But like, I think I read this either like from a FBI agent or it was just an article. But they said like we are the citizens of America are 30 years behind the American government for intelligence, meaning
yeah. Yeah.
like the internet, like machinery and all that. So I don't know if it was like a former FBI agent said that or if I read an article that was quoting that. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah. Like if you could, is there any conspiracy theories that you kind of believe? Because I know for me, conspiracy theories have always been around, and then when you start watching you kind of get sucked into the wormhole where even though you know that it's probably not real, but they kind of make it seem like it's real, so you start to believe it a little bit. Um, but is there any like, as far as like, I don't know, maybe like the Illuminati or like something like that? Is there conspiracies that you believe in or not really?
The main one for me is the Kennedys killed Marilyn Monroe. That's mine.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's because just what I've read. That's what I've just read up on, and like how like she was gonna expose the Kennedys for the affair, and like a neighbor saw the Kennedys roll up to the house the night before she supposedly overdosed, and then the barbiturates or whatever they're called that were in her belly were not even consumed. So it looked like it was planted after she died. It's just kind of weird if you read up on it.
Yeah. I mean, there's some ridiculous ones out there, like people saying that, celebrities are like not real people and that they're clones and stuff like that. I mean, there's
I
some crazy ones out there.
I mean, I guess if I was on some hardcore drugs, I might believe in that, like, or like the lizard, like the government's a bunch of lizards or
Yeah,
whatever, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've heard that. Yeah, that's crazy.
And I mean, any well-spoken or any well thought out video, like either a well spoken person or a well done video, can make anything seem real anymore. That's a trippy thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, do you think that when we're talking about sports conspiracies, have you ever? Because for me, there's been moments where, I watch football and that sometimes, I mean, in general, I don't believe this, but there's sometimes where I think that the NFL could be fixing games. But do you think that the NFL or just any professional sports association in general, do you think that some of it's like they fix the games and stuff like that?
Um, I think we would have heard about it in the NFL. I know, like in the Major League Baseball in the early 1900s, the Chicago Black Sox did it, and
Yeah.
they ended up getting caught for the World Series scandal. Shoeless Joe Jackson got banned. He was one of the best players ever, and he got banned. I mean, there's point shaving in the NBA and college basketball. Um, so yeah, I think maybe at times like it could have been like the only time for the NFL for me is like after Katrina hit and the Saints won the Super Bowl. It was kind of like, huh, that's weird. And then with the Seahawks and Pittsburgh Steelers when Jerome Bettis retired, he won it all on the last year,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think Peyton Manning won it on the last year. He played too, correct?
Yeah.
Um, but at the same time, then you can look at the other side. Like Drew Brees retired, he didn't win it all. I mean, he threw 3 picks, or he's gonna
Yeah.
retire.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Philip Rivers, he retired. He didn't win it. I mean, and they're superstars. I just think that like you can, like I said, I think you can pick out anything. Would if tomorrow they came out and said, "Hey, did you know that the NFL had games where they shaved it to make it closer?" No, I wouldn't be shocked at that. To make the games closer, I could see it totally being steered one way to make the games closer so it's not a blowout so people pay attention to it. And I know that there's a huge conspiracy about the NBA with the LA Lakers versus Sacramento Kings. I think it was in 2001.
Yeah, it was in the 80s, and then there was also I saw a video about it. Like I don't really follow the NBA that much, so I don't really know what it's much about. But maybe you can tell. But it had something to do with the draft that I guess they
Oh, you're
something
thinking
with
about the
the
draft.
envelope.
You're thinking about the
Yeah,
draft. I'm talking about in early 2001. It was the Lakers versus the Kings. Shaq and Kobe versus
yeah,
like Vlade Divac and all of them. And basically what happened was like they believe the game was steered so the Lakers could win and go to this NBA Finals. Like there was like one-sided fouls. Like I don't quote me. It's all over YouTube. It was like 20 fouls to like one in the fourth quarter for the Lakers in Game
yeah,
6.
yeah.
And then I know what you're talking about with the whole like I I I didn't watch it, but like where they believe that it was rigged for the draft in the 80s.
Yeah, and like yeah, and then there was all of that. So I mean, the NBA wouldn't really surprise me as much, and I think even like one of the officials from that playoff game, I think even like he got arrested or something,
Yeah, it
or
was
like he
Tim
testified.
Donahue
Yeah,
or something like that.
yeah,
So I mean, and that was point shaving. So he was with the sports betters on that. Like, make sure the game's between 10 points and 12 points or whatever it was. And so he'd call a weird foul, so the score would be that way. So not necessarily like at least what he said and like what he got in trouble for. It was not him making one team win or lose. It was making a score a certain amount. Like if the betting line was negative 14 or whatever, and he would be told
yeah,
keep it this way.
yeah. I just think with the NFL, I mean, people say that it's rigged, but I mean, my whole thing with saying the NFL is rigged is like, well, if it's rigged, then how come whenever there's a close catch or something that, you know, like, oh, did he catch the ball? Did he keep his feet in bounds? Like it's clear as day. Like, there's no, like, it's not like they have a close play and then they're like, okay, well, this happened. We're not going to show a replay. Like every play that's close, like they see it, and for the most part, you know, they make the right call about it.
It's kind of like umpires in baseball. They make the
Yeah.
right call like 85% of the time or 90% of the time, and they get scrutinized for the 10%. And I mean, like if you want, you can do a conspiracy theory for almost any NFL playoff loss or Super Bowl loss. Like San Fran did it versus Seahawks in 2013. Um, a guy made a video saying that Seahawks got it rigged for the Seahawks to win versus the Niners. Um, there's a conspiracy about the Baltimore Ravens and the 49ers Super Bowl.
Yeah, with Roger Goodell.
Yeah, I mean, so honestly, I just think that you can make a conspiracy out of like anything. Like now, if we're talking about like the government, like can the government make you disappear without anyone knowing? Really? Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah,
That
it'd be the CIA witness protection
well, yeah, you know
program
what
and
I
all
mean.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Like make you disappear. Yeah, I believe that. But like, we would have heard more about the NFL already. Like, like the one guy said, you would have to hear like millions of people would have had to keep it quiet on their deathbed. Like,
Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing. Like, it's not like WWE because everyone at WWE knows that the results are predetermined and stuff.
spoiler
There's
alert.
there's nobody that would gamble on a WWE thing.
Actually, I think
So
there is now though, bro.
I actually heard one time about a guy that he did a gamble on a WWE game and apparently it was for big money. And the only way, like, if you gamble for big money in WWE, then that means that you must have some kind of inside information about that, like, going on.
It's
Like,
just it's crazy. Like for me though, it's like I said, could it be point shaving a certain way? Yeah. I wouldn't doubt if it came out and they're like, "Hey, did you know the game that was 20-0? A referee made it 38-28, so the viewers wouldn't leave." Okay, I could buy that, but like, I'm not so sure about them making the game predetermined. Like, I just don't think that's how it is, and it's like maybe I'll just say no for me. Even now, even like the NBA, like the guy that got caught in the 2000s, he didn't even make it them lose. He just made the game a certain amount of score. Which I mean,
yeah,
it's still screwing the game up. Don't get me wrong. But it's not making a team win or lose.
right. Yeah, and with the NFL too, it's like there's things that the referees can do to manipulate the game, but there's a lot of things like if someone scores a touchdown clearly, then there's nothing really they can do about it. And if they say, "Oh, well, there's a holding call on the play," then they always review it.
Yeah,
So so
exactly.
you're so you're telling me that that if you're saying the NFL is fixed, so basically everyone in the NFL that plays, they get to the NFL and then they're said, okay, this is all fixed, basically. Like,
Yeah, I don't think people would risk CTE and all that. I mean, maybe like the WWE wrestlers did, but that was back in the 90s and early 2000s before, anyone knew about CTE like that. Really, Chris Benoit changed the whole landscape on CTE and WWE and
yeah,
testing.
he was the guy that really turned that around with the whole CTE. Do you think that like for like professional boxers and UFC fighters, do you think that there's a risk for CTE in that field as well?
I definitely do, but I just think that
Yeah.
we're a little bit behind on testing. Like,
Right.
I think Muhammad Ali got Parkinson's because of boxing. That's my
Yeah.
opinion. I could be totally wrong and be like, Shane, you're being a whack job. But I mean, he would get punched in the face all the time doing the rope a dope, and or like yeah, sure. And that was later in his career, but I mean, yeah, I do think so. Like, I think we'll see like UFC fighters like Chuck Liddell or Tito Ortiz or guys like that. Some of them will start having CTE on their brain where we can test them in like 10, 15 years when they're older. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, Chris Benoit was brutal. Like, not all wrestlers. I would probably say that because even when they take chair shots and stuff like that, like you can say that you can see that they put their hands up most of the time. But the thing that with Chris Benoit that was different is that he would always do like this move, like the flying headbutt, where he would literally just like dive onto people's heads
Oh,
and
but it
all
was
that.
totally different,
Yeah.
man. Like even like me growing up in the '90s, man, they would do some wild stuff, like get bit by a real
Yeah.
snake, hit each other with 2x4s in the head. You know what I mean? Like because nobody knew really, and then it was the early 2000s with Chris Benoit, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. And for me, it's like it sucks that people didn't realize it, but at the same time, look at us compared to like the 1930s, 1920s. People were dying of polio back then. And then it
Yeah.
changes. So, I mean, we learn as a society what's okay and what's not okay. And so, like, the whole WWE realized, holy crap, we can't pump our wrestlers full of steroids. They'll have heart attacks and die. Oh crap, we can't smash your head, you know what I mean, repeatedly against a metal pole to make the blood squirt out and everybody celebrate. They might have some behavioral issues where they change. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, don't get it twisted. Like those WWE wrestlers, they were doing hardcore steroids. They were drinking fists. They were popping pills. They were doing all kinds of drugs. So that's going to change your brain up a lot. They already said that if you have a few concussions, your brain chemicals can change.
Yeah. I also think that in general, though, I think that Vince McMahon, I don't really know what my opinion of him as a whole, but I think that he's done some shady stuff, and I think okay, well, I mean, like if you're like a billionaire, then who doesn't? But like he pretty much like the Owen Hart tragedy was on Vince McMahon when he died, so
I just don't think people care.
yeah,
And I don't sue us, Vince. I don't have any money.
yeah. Exactly.
But I'm just saying, like, I just think I just think people. I mean, I just don't think people care as much. It's kind of like the Walmart people. The Walmart CEO. He could pay his employees way more and give them awesome benefits if he took like just like a certain amount of a pay cut, and he'd still be rich. And he doesn't. But why? Because he doesn't want to. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's kind of like when they used to just pump the NFL players with speed at halftime when they had an injury. You know what I mean? Or
Hmm.
opiates in the '60s. Like, go read up on Lyle Alzado. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think yeah. So what I'm saying is I agree with you with about McMahon.
Yeah. So for another sports conspiracy, like I was watching a video on Deflategate the other day. Do you think that Tom Brady knowingly tampered with the footballs and that he got caught, or do you think that it was kind of blown out of proportion with that?
I'm not entirely 100% sure on that. And for me, it's hard because it's like, could he have known? Sure, but did he necessarily do it? Probably not. A ball boy probably did it. Maybe I mean, maybe Tom Brady said because his balls were deflated, right? That's a joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe he had a sore hand. You know what I mean? And he told the ball boy, "Hey, make it a little bit less inflated so I can throw a little bit." But I know they ran a lot in that first half, and that would
Yeah.
stop fumbles and all that. But I mean, everybody kind of gets an edge in certain things. Like, I mean, Jerry Rice put stickum on his hands nobody says anything about that. I mean, maybe if that was Tom Brady's only Super Bowl win, okay. Well, what about Spygate? Well, he's won too much now. It's kind of out the window.
Yeah, it's kind of out the window, and I agree with you with the ball boy because honestly, if I'm a ball boy and I'm working for Tom Brady or whatever, then you got to think that you're probably gonna try your best to try to please him in any way, which sounds a little bit wrong that I said that out loud, but you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like, unfortunately, like the Kobe Bryant incident. My feelings are, he talked the pilot into flying. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's unfortunate. Don't get me wrong, because most of the time he's going to be okay, but you know what I mean.
Hmm. Rest in peace to Kobe and all the passengers and all that. Definitely a sad accident, but yeah, I do think that because I think people have said that Bill Belichick probably had nothing to do with it or didn't know what was going on. So, and apparently, like the person who deflated the balls and Tom Brady, they actually had a little bit of a friendship. Like they were texting back and forth and stuff. But
I mean, probably. I mean, then if that happened, well, then yeah. But I mean, and if I'm the ball boy, I'm gonna listen. Like, hey,
yeah,
deflate the balls a little bit, and I'll give you like whatever, 100K. Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't want to cheat though. Well, it won't be that big of a cheating. It's just helping, my hands sore and whatever. Or I like the balls a little bit like less pumped up. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? I don't like, so it could be about anything.
Yeah, and the messed up thing about it is that when Deflategate come out, like the person that was involved with that, he has to pretty much move out of the state. it's like it's like because people, which is kind of messed up. So I think that Tom Brady maybe does owe him an apology if it is true because ultimately, he was just trying to he was trying to make him, basically do what he says. So
Definitely, and for all we know, he got money on the side later on, and we don't know about. Spaghetti said that you sound like you always come back from being drunk because your voice is so deep, Trey. I just wanted to give you that.
it's as monotone as it gets. It's always been like this. Like I've never been a squeaker. Like my voice has always been like deeper than most people. So that's just the way it is.
He came out the womb like, "What's up, boys?"
Yeah, that's why I find it surprising that people. I mean, I listen to like the podcast back and stuff to see, what I need to work on as far as, maybe things that I say too frequently or, if I say like too many times and things like that. So, but for a while, I'm like, who would want to listen to me talk? I mean, people have told me in the past that I would make like a good narrator and stuff like that. So,
Hey, that'd be dope though, Trey. I mean, narrators get money, boy. Like,
I could be like on one of those TV shows and be like previously on Hard Knocks or whatever.
right? Or like, bro,
of thing.
like, do you remember Unsolved Mysteries, a TV show at all?
Yeah, have you seen the new one that came out like a couple months ago?
I saw part of it. The only reason why Unsolved Mysteries creeped me out back in the day was because of the Robert Stack's voice.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie, man. When I was young, that scared the hell out of me. What happened? Where did they go? We'll never know. But it's crazy. Now that I mean, I'm changing the subject, but it's crazy because on Unsolved Mysteries they have updates, right?
Yeah.
Like, because those shows happen in the late 80s to 90s, and they're not even that interested. Like, what happened? Did she get abducted? What happened to her? And then, like, It says update 2007. They found a car in a lake. She had accidentally driven in the lake and drowned while drinking.
Yeah.
Or what happened to him? Where did he go? And then they found him in the field. It wasn't that like it's funny. Some of the unsolved mysteries aren't that great. Open what
Yeah.
pack? Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
What? Yeah. Well, I think from my understanding is like the unsolved mysteries that was on from like back in like the 80s or whatever. It's my understanding that those ones were a little bit more like corny and a little bit more like silly in general, but the new one that just came out is like I guess more, straightforward and stuff. I mean, I watched the episodes and they're pretty interesting. Like, like they did a story about an old guy that I guess he had no he had no sense of direction and he was just like pretty much lost in general, and then he was hitchhiking and then he just got lost altogether. I know that I'm going to hell for laughing about that one, but but it's like, have you ever seen the Tourette's guy before? The Tourette?
Um, no, I've seen. Oh man, I don't want to say. I don't want to go to hell. So, no, go ahead.
Well, there was a clip of the Tourette's guy where like his mom was talking and saying, "Yeah, my dad's so old. He went to Kmart and got lost for 4 for 4 hours." That's funny. But
No, like the unsolved mysteries back in the day. Like, I mean, there was some corny ones, like, but there's also a lot of like murder mysteries and like disappearances.
yeah,
So I mean, if you're ever bored, if people are ever bored, go look on YouTube Unsolved Mysteries, the old versions. You get cool updates at the end.
yeah. All right. So let's go. Let's go to the poll question of this week, which I believe I'm gonna check to make sure. Which I believe I'm gonna check to make sure. You heard my phone in the background.
Yeah,
I
hold
think
on.
it's the one. I think it's the one about the playoff one.
I'm gonna open up
it's the best playoff
real
game.
quick. I'm opening up this pack so they can. It's MCCC Madden Club Finals. I don't know. That was pointless. Y'all made me sit and look at it.
What is it?
It's just like an MCC pack, Madden Championship Finals pack. It was nothing.
Okay. So we did this poll question last week. Since that week we had a divisional round. So has there been games? I know that the Bills versus the Ravens. I mean, now that I'm looking back on it, I don't even remember like half of the games.
Wait, what was
really.
the poll question? Who won the poll question?
What was the best NFL playoff game so far?
KC and Cleveland was really good.
Yeah.
KC won with the backup.
Yeah, and Kansas City had that gutsy play call at the end, caught the Browns napping. That was classic.
But see, offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators or coaches, whoever it is, like Andy Reid, offensive genius, he schemed that.
Yeah,
and he had a backup go 6 for 8 and throw 88 yards. Yeah, he had a horrible pick, but that's why he's not Patrick Mahomes but you realize the backup still went 6 for 8 and 88 yards.
Yeah. Yeah, the Buccaneers and the Saints game, I mean, that was entertaining up until like the fourth quarter, and then the Buccaneers kind of ran away with that one in the end. So
that defense came up big for Tampa Bay, in my opinion. Brady did good, but that defense completely shut down Drew Brees. Drew Brees is shot. He's done.
Yeah. I kind of wanted the Buccaneers to win because I thought that there'd be no way that the Saints would be able to go to Lambeau and win. So,
I
I
think it
mean,
was. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Tom Brady maybe. It's going to be a good game, but yeah, go ahead with what you're going to say. What?
If we remember, I believe on the podcast last week, I said I have a weird feeling Tampa Bay's gonna win against the Saints and then beat Green Bay. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
yeah,
KC and the Buccaneers for the Super Bowl, and Brady's gonna win his seventh. And then,
and then he has to retire at that point. Yeah.
yeah, that would be nuts.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Really
like
quick, go
it,
ahead, go
it's
ahead.
like it's like he wins the Super Bowl, and then at the press conference, which I don't think Brady's the kind of person that would do this, but it would be cool if he just grabbed the mic and said something like, "Well, I did all I could do. I proved that I could win without Belichick," and then he just like drops the mic and then just walks off and then
Oh,
retires.
that would be legit as crap.
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer some. I'm gonna throw out some of these questions, Trey. Like they're not really questions, but I don't know. Can you see the chat at all?
I mean, I can. I'm just not on the chat right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Daniel, I believe, yeah, it was Daniel. He said it shows that it's more the Chiefs than Patrick Mahomes. I agree to a certain degree. Like if Andy Reid threw out Chad Henne for a 16 game season, they would not have the record the Chiefs did. They would not be 14-2. They'd be 9-7, 10-6, in my opinion. Which shows, yeah, the offensive coordinator does. Oh, like Andy Reid runs the offense. He's the head coach, but he runs the offense. He can scheme, but Patrick Mahomes takes him over the top. Like, if you put Mahomes on Sean McVay's team, I think the Rams win. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Sean McVay's good at offense and their defense was number one. So, but I mean, yeah, it does definitely help you guys.
Yeah. I mean, I still think the Bills are able to win. Uh, I'm looking forward to this. I think the Bills are probably the only team that can beat the Chiefs. Um, they're the underdog, so I'm going to be rooting for them on Sunday. Um, so we'll see.
I I forgot that they already played and the Chiefs ran all over the Bills. I didn't know the Bills were
Yeah,
undersized
that's
on
true.
defense.
Yeah, yeah,
And yes, it changes, but I think they're gonna try to force Mahomes to beat him to show that he's healthy. As weird as that sounds, I think the Bills are gonna try to stack the line, right? And
yeah.
stop the run game because they got blown out by the run game last time. And I think they're going to try to see if Mahomes is as healthy as he is.
Hmm. Yeah, so I think for me, I guess my prediction is gonna be I got the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. I think now that I think about it, I think that I'm gonna go with Shane's pick, but I think the matchup that I want to see is probably the Bills and the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl.
I want the Bills to win it all. So,
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, that'd be cool for their franchise. It's been 26 years, 25, 26 years. Um, I just don't. I think it's gonna be KC for sure, which is, I mean, the easy side. And I mean, like Daniel said, it'll be Chiefs and Packers. Yes, that would definitely be the smart pick. I just have a weird feeling it's going to be the Chiefs and Buccaneers, and I said it before they played the Saints on this podcast. Just like Trey, remember when I called Cam Newton to New England? Yes, sir.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. I called that. I just have a weird feeling Tampa Bay is going to go in. Oh, you don't want to eat that Cheeto right now. Sorry. I just I just have a weird feeling that Tampa Bay is going to come in and win like 27-20, and Brady's going to go to the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, yeah.
And bro, tell me that would not be crazy though.
That'd be crazy. I mean, I never thought. I never thought that because especially in the regular season, I mean, they looked good, but I still didn't think that they would go that far in the playoffs the first year. But
Well, with
I mean, they got a squad. They have like a Madden Ultimate Team squad.
yeah,
But
don't get it twisted. Brady knew what he was doing. Like,
yeah, yeah.
but all it, you can't take anything away from him. It's supposed to snow until game time Sunday
Where?
at Green Bay.
Oh yeah. So they're gonna. So people are probably gonna be running the ball. You got Leonard Fournette, who's a stud. I like Leonard Fournette quite a bit. And then for the Packers, Aaron Jones, who's like, top 10 rusher in the NFL. So we'll see how that plays out.
I just think Tampa Bay is gonna win, man. We'll see. We'll be back here next Thursday, and we'll definitely be like, yo, here's what
Yeah.
happened. I'm gonna go. My picks are it's gonna be KC 34, Buffalo 27 in a great game, and then I'm gonna go Tampa Bay 27-20 over Green Bay.
I'm gonna say the Kansas City Chiefs are gonna score. Right, the Kansas City Chiefs 31, and then the Bills 17, and then the Buccaneers 27, and then the Green Bay Packers 20.
Oh, you're going with Green Bay, or I mean, you're going with Tampa Bay too now. I like it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I think I have the same picks that it's going to be Kansas City, or not? Yeah, Kansas City and Buck. Which would be a good game. I mean, Tom Brady and Mahomes, like that's some good stuff right there.
I think it'd be a super high scoring Super Bowl.
Yeah, just like the last time they played. So,
Daniel says KC 34-17, and then Green Bay 31-24.
all right, it's a good prediction right there. Shout out to Mr. Daniel for always being in these streams. Appreciate the support.
Oh yeah, bro, we got a good group in here. They're coming and going.
Yeah.
But we had Evac in here. We had Spaghetti. Obviously we had Daniel. I almost said Daniel the Tiger. But I mean, yeah, we had people come and go, man. It's really nice when you have supporters coming in. So shout out to the listeners and the subscribers, like always, man.
Yeah. So I think for me, I'm pretty much said everything I need to say. Shane, do you have something else that you would like to discuss further before we get out of here for the week?
I really don't. I just, like I said, man. Shout out to Daniel, man. We have 5 people in the stream, not 6K, boy. I am gonna leave with this. Hey, MCS, can we please get Mutt Draft? Can we?
Exactly. Let it happen.
Let it
Please.
go, baby. Let it go.
Or at the very least, just make an announcement. Like at the very least, at least come out and say that there is or there's not going to be a mud draft tournament.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, how long are they going to wait to lead everyone on? You know what I mean? Unless they're doing like, well, I talked to one guy, man. He did the tournament last year. He didn't do it this year. And he was saying that he thinks that they're making it just more for the pros after clubs.
Right.
Where, you know what I mean? Where they're just like, kind of like, oh, well, if the casual people are done playing, you'll still have the pros, you know what I mean? So it'll make it even more entertaining. The grind, the the tournaments, you know what I mean? And they might come
Yeah.
with it. I'm gonna use anti-hero on this. He texted me. We text a couple days ago. Shout out to Anti on his what he's dealing
He's a
with.
he's a funny guy too. I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he basically said that he kind of feels like what we were feeling like, that he feels that like they're moving away from tournaments
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
doing it more for like like he kind of agreed with like, yeah, like the pros. Sorry, the baby's excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
And kind of like what we were talking about earlier on the podcast, like it's all about like the pros getting invited and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
But
for sure.
I don't know. I would like them to come out and be like you said, there's a tournament, there's not a tournament, there's a tournament. Like, let us know, man. But I have a feeling, sure, it's easy to say there's not going to be a tournament now, but from what we've heard, from what my EA guys told me, is that there's going to be a
Yeah.
tournament for sure. Well, what if they're here, real quick before we get off, Trey? What would your opinion be on this? Would you like it if they make it like the whole year minus like a month and a half, like after sorry, like
It's okay. Yeah.
after the clubs, right? So like when do these clubs end? February 5th or something?
Yeah.
Then February 6th they come out and say Mutt Draft is going to start from February 15th to March 15th. Tournament from March 15th to April 1st, right?
Hmm.
Then they say LCQ will start April 2nd to May 1st. Um, the tournament for LCQ is May 1st to May 15th, and then Madden Bowl is June 1st to July 1st, right? And then you have all of
Yeah.
July to have a break. Would you like it if they did the whole year like that, or would you like it if they're wrapping it up by April?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I think that the MCS is, and of course, it's cool to see like these little college tournaments, and it looks like they're throwing more tournaments, which is good, in my opinion. Friday night football and things of that, but I still think that if we have to sacrifice those little tournaments in order to make the MCS have like three major tournaments, I think that that's kind of what we have to do. I mean, especially Madden Bowl. Like, if there's not a Madden Bowl, then I think that the MCS is kind of pointless because I feel like the Madden Bowl should be like WrestleMania or like the Super Bowl for Madden. Like they should make it like the biggest thing. Like have all the YouTubers and the Twitch streamers come out there and just make it like a Super Bowl and stuff like
And
that.
and
So,
and I know the Madden Bowl is supposed to be like the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? At least that's what the
yeah,
Madden players take it like. Whoever wins the Madden Bowl is a champ. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
But hold on, buddy. But
yeah.
like, I do agree. I don't remember if it was joke, and I know he gets hated a lot, and I know he complains a lot. He complains a lot. He really does. But I think he does it in
Yeah,
a
yeah,
tactical way, and I'm being serious.
hmm,
I think he
yeah,
knows what he's doing. But
yeah, yeah.
oh no, it was Dreeny. Wait, was it Dreeny? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. It was one of the pros that
Yeah,
said, "How are we gonna determine who gets to go to the Madden Bowl if there was only one tournament?
right.
Is it just a pick? Is it just invite only?" And let me tell you, if it's only invite only, which I don't believe it will be, there will be one more tournament. Okay, there will be one more tournament. But let's just say there isn't, and it's like, yeah, and they just invite people. Madden will die, especially if they do it
Yeah,
next
yeah.
year.
Yeah, it would be terrible.
But shoot, that's all I gotta say on all this, man. Anything else, Trey?
Yeah, well, I mean, one more thing that I want to leave you with. I mean, this is more so me talking to Shane than the audience, but I did hear in that as RG, who's the lead guy for competitive. Now, I watched the stream that I sent you in Discord, and he gave the competitive update, which was pretty much nothing. I mean, it's like the same stuff that you heard, but he did say that there's supposed to be more tournaments in the future. I mean, both like small scale and large scale, but he has to work out on when he can start releasing stuff.
Wait a minute.
For the
Wait, what's that mean? So he's saying that there's going to be more tournaments this year.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Or is he talking about next year?
No, I think he's talking about this year.
Well, shoot, then if it's this year, and he said bigger tournaments or just smaller, or both?
He said both, supposedly.
So if that happens, let's just say it happens, right? They really are trying to make it a whole year of Madden, which I'd be cool with. If they came out with like, hey, MUT Draft will be right after the club's online or the club's live, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the MUT Draft tournament will be till this date, and then Jesus, can you calm down there, kid? And then you got the LCQ at this date. If they told us, I'd be cool with it, man. Make it all year. Like,
yeah.
I'd enjoy that, but that's cool, man. Cool. I didn't know. I didn't see it in Discord, or I didn't watch it.
Yeah. So.
I mean, shout out to me and Trey in that Discord. Oh my god. Anyways.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know how I feel about RG being the head. I don't really think about it one way or another, but I've always said that the person who came up with the idea of zone drops being implemented in the game should be given a raise, and that was RG's idea, apparently. So I guess props to him.
Yeah, props to RG, man. He definitely he played the game a lot, at least what I heard.
Yeah.
And he but I still think it's going to be the same thing. Whoever he's cool with, he's going to help. Don't like like when Kiv had a problem with the passing, like, oh, the passing's too hard, and I think it was like Madden 18, and then they fix the zones to dumb out instead of being tough, where it's weird, Trey, because I am no way, no shape a great passer against other elite players, right? I will fully admit that, but I can pass the same no matter what year it is. So, like, when he was having problems with that cover 4, maybe I just knew how to attack the cover 4 meta. You know what I mean? Because I know football.
Yeah, there's still people that run cover 4 drop to this day, and I guess I'll leave you with this. Like, if you're still running cover 4 out of 3-4 odd, that defense is not good. You have to get out of it. It's not good at all.
No,
so,
you got to take some lessons from me and go into 3-3-5 odd and do what I was doing last night. Damn.
I literally played a guy like just yesterday. I was running that, and all I did was run out routes against it, and got all the way down the field. So
it's crazy how people, like, for example, you know how like he was using that defense against you, right? And he had no idea how to really do anything different. I kind of felt like that against the guy last night that I played. Was he really good? Yep, because he was a good enough player and he knew the meta offense and meta defense, right?
Yeah.
He could not adjust whatsoever.
Yeah, same with this. Same with this guy. Like if I'm playing Shane and I know Shane runs a lot of cover 3, I could throw that out route, and then if some people don't know what they're doing, they'll switch onto the corner and try to pick it. But Shane mans it up, or he'll put like a flat zone out there. But most people don't do that. They'll just try to take it away themselves instead of telling their AI to be like, okay, watch the outside or something.
And it's definitely crazy. Don't get it twisted, man. Like, you got to adapt. Hey, if anybody ever trains Shanegotyou11 up to be the greatest passer, or one, here, I'll say this: somebody coach me up to be top 20 elite passer in MCS. I'm making every live event and going far. I'll just leave it like that.
Yeah, we got a mill for someone who wants to train Shane on how not to be a Stevie when he passes. And
Uh,
he's a little bit and he's getting up there in age, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult. So
I'm gonna get glaucoma in my eye.
yeah.
All right, boys. Anything else, Trey?
No, that's it. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Shane, are you going to be doing weekend league this week, or what's your plan for
Yeah, I'm gonna
streaming?
be playing as much as I can. I'm probably gonna
Yeah,
play right after this stream ends too for a little bit.
yeah.
Um, I got a migraine, but who cares? I'll soldier through
Yeah.
it. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I don't have anything else to say. Like Trey said, shout out to everybody who always tunes in here. I will be setting up the weekend league stream probably in the next 10 minutes. I'm going to put contacts in because I can't see. So, all right, this was West Coast Podcast. We'll be back on January 28th, boys.